Now, in today's show, we got big news as a recent recall for more than 60,000 can-related products raises concerns over in Missouri, and regulators flag another 6,000 products on top of that they say should have been recalled since 2023. That's literally 2 years ago. But it's not all doom and gloom over in Missouri, as they're bringing in some serious tax dollars and their kind of markets are pumping, especially for a state that's only legalized 2 years ago. Have a look.
Today's the first day recreational use is legal in Missouri. But if you're hoping to buy it without that medical license, just add another 2 months to your waiting time.
Starting today, Missouri residents 21 and over can legally have up to 3 ounces of, but like you said, this doesn't mean that customers can go up and pick it in any dispensary. Businesses holding medical licenses can now apply for comprehensive license from the state that would let them sell recreationally.
I think the intention will be to get all of them and receive them and then issue those licenses all at the same time, or at least in batches, more closer to the end of that 60-day period.
Lyndall Franker with the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services told me approving businesses for comprehensive licensing is a process that takes about 2 months. Today, the department started accepting those applications. Yesterday, we spoke with employees from Green Relief, a Missouri dispensary, who said they plan to apply for their comprehensive license first thing today.
There's lots of people that would come to our door thinking that it is legal and they can just come in and make a purchase. So we've had to explain them that this is it's not completely available yet.
The earliest that customers could start buying recreation is February.
It's a new day in Missouri, obviously, but we've been through it before, 4 years ago with Amendment 2. We feel much more confident in what we're doing and where we're heading and how this, and the outcome.
Now, despite the fact that businesses and consumers had to wait a couple months for things to get set up, that's normal, that's no problem at all. But what is a problem is some of these recalls and how they can negatively affect the health of consumers. Now, according to this article, which was posted 2 days ago, and I quote, Missouri regulators flag another 6,000 products that they say should have been recalled back in 2023. Now, this article cites a massive recall which happened a couple of years back, and that affected 62,000 products on shelves. Now, we're going to get into that in a little bit more detail, but what this article says is that there have been no adverse reactions reported for any of the product in the original or updated recall. Now, we've seen instances where products have been recalled for Aspergillus, E. coli, Salmonella, stuff like that, but according to this, in August 2023, the division suspended Delta Extraction's license after finding the company's distillate was made with untested herb or converted hemp from outside of a Missouri licensed cultivation facility. So this seems slightly different to what we're used to, and what's even more interesting is that a few months later, the state rolled back its safety recall for nearly 15,000 Midwest Magic products and allowed them to return to the dispo shelves. So while recalls usually suggest a public health issue or something along those lines, it seems that in this situation there were no adverse reactions which were reported, but the keyword there, which were reported. Now let's have a look at that massive recall which actually took place not too long ago, and that affected 63,000 products. Have a look.
New at 10, the first alert on a recall of more than 62,000 products sold in Missouri.
The state's Division of Cannabis Regulation says the products were not put into the statewide track and trace system, which makes sure every product sold in Missouri is grown here in the state. We have a complete list of recalled products inside the K-Movie News app right now, and if you bought any of the recalled items, you need to stop using them. It's also important to note here, there have been no reports of anyone becoming sick from using the recalled items.
So there are no reports of people getting sick. And like I said, it may not necessarily be a recall due to contamination, but more likely a recall due to it not being done in the way that they wanted it to be done. Now, I want to have a look at how some people feel about these recalls, but before we do, if you guys are getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, join the ICANN VIP Bean Club or cop some merch from our merch store. Now, let's have a look at how some people in the industry feel about these recalls.
More than 60,000 products sold to dispensaries and manufacturers by Delta Extraction LLC are recalled in Missouri. Fox News' Kelly Hoskins looks at this one-of-a-kind recall and how local dispensaries are responding.
If you recently purchased edibles or drinks from a dispensary in Missouri, make sure to check to see if those items are not among the product recall list. Thousands of products are sold at dispensaries across Missouri are being recalled. Stores across the state removed the products from their shelves immediately, including Starbucks in University City.
The recall has not been easy, but we are, still working with the state, and we're working with our vendors to make sure that everything is being taken care of.
The Missouri Division of Cannabis Regulations has issued a product recall for more than 60,000 products sold at dispensaries and manufacturers.
About 60,000 package IDs. In those package IDs, you could have anywhere from 10 to 100 products in there. So, this is a lot more than just 60,000 products.
That regulator said the products were sold by Franklin County-based Delta Extraction, and they were not compliantly tracked so the state could verify they were derived from Missouri-grown and passed required testing. Delta Extraction released a statement and said they are prepared to take all necessary legal action in response to these baffling assertions and affirm their record of transparency and compliance for their state products manufactured and sold in Missouri. The company goes on to say they passed all state inspections with flying colors. In addition, no one has reported any adverse reactions to the products so far. And to find out the complete list of the recalled items, you may download our news app.
So again, this recall may not necessarily be to things like Aspergillus, E. coli, Salmonella, but it's all about the track and trace system. They want to make sure that the plants were actually grown over in Missouri and that all the state regulations are being followed. And typically, if you aren't following the regulations, you may have your license revoked.
Missouri's regulators have revoked the manufacturing licenses of Delta Extraction LLC. More than 60,000 products the company sold to dispensaries, those have been recalled because of improper tracking. The tracking is required so the state can verify the products came from Missouri-grown and passed required testing.
But now, despite these recalls and business licenses being revoked, like I said, it's not all doom and gloom down in Missouri, because Missouri has actually generated tons of tax dollars from recreational herb to the tune of $241 million in the last 12 months, and that actually triples their original estimate. Have a look.
Getting ready for the holidays means going to the grocery store and the dispensary. So many Missourians partaking in the sale of legalized that the total sales tax revenue came back 3 times higher than what the state thought it would be.
The next week really is going to be just a madhouse around here.
From Grandview, the Relief dispensary door doesn't stop opening.
We decided to go 24 hours and we've not closed a single minute since. With Green Wednesday, it's kind of a quasi-weed holiday, People are coming to get their before they go to deal with the family.
You definitely kind of see the out-of-state plates as people come in for Thanksgiving and stuff. I definitely think there's going to be a lot more people coming in just to experience the fact that it's recreational here now.
With every purchase, Missouri state and local government thought they could count on $79 million from sales tax, but that number was grossly underestimated.
Instead of that, we've actually contributed about $241 million.
Triple the estimated rate.
The state was too conservative, that they just didn't anticipate the demand.
The largest recipients of the tax revenue, veteran health care, substance abuse programs, and the Missouri Public Defenders Association. Jack Cardetti with the Missouri Cannabis Trade Association says it's an astounding figure.
Missouri has been more effective at removing people from the sort of shadows of the illicit market into the regulated market than about any other state in the country.
He believes people are buying here because of customer service, safety regulations, and it's locally grown.
Our market's it's very, very mature.
Relief and Mitch Alexander celebrating 4 years of sales.
Missourians are very open about it. A lot of our job and our roles here has been kind of destroying the stigma that was with cannabis before. And every walk of life comes through these doors every single day. It's just a whole lot more readily accepted, and now that it's more available and the access is there, it's a whole lot easier for people to just be comfortable with it.
He believes the industry will continue to grow, especially as the consumers are accounting for the taxes they have to hand over.
I've started to plan for it, so now every time whenever I make a purchase, I just multiply everything by 0.2, expecting the tax.
From Grandview, I'm Megan Abundis, KSHB 41 News.
So Missouri's doing some good stuff, and they're really trying to protect the industry over there in Missouri and protect their local farmers over in Missouri. They don't want to be one of those states that's just importing a bunch of flour. They want to make sure that their local growers are actually getting the benefit of the laws that were put in place. And as you guys would have heard in that clip for yourself, the largest recipients of these benefits are veterans.
The largest recipients of the tax revenue, veteran health care.
And over in Florida, veterans are also going to get benefits under this new bill, which was unanimously approved. And under this bill, military veterans are able to get medical cards absolutely free. Now what this bill does is exempt military veterans from state registration fees for medical cards, allowing them to obtain certificates for absolutely free. Also, instead of renewing your card annually, you can now renew it every 2 years. And like I said, those registration and renewal fees will be waived for veterans.
They are on the front lines protecting our freedom, but when it comes to getting medical, many of our military veterans face hurdles, from the cost to being at odds with the federal law and the VA. But help could be on the way. As Night Side's Josh Fedorowicz shows you, some Florida lawmakers are working to try and at least help out our vets with some of the cost for cannabis care.
Like so many veterans, Randall Lilly returned home after 2 tours in Afghanistan with injuries you can't see, like PTSD.
How did the VA want to treat you?
Well, see, the VA doesn't allow that. They don't allow medical.
And like so many veterans, he faced a VA that will not recommend medical because of federal law, despite legalization in states like Florida, leaving vets like Lilly with prescriptions for opioids or psychotropic drugs instead.
I tried using them. I didn't like being in a medicated hangover. I did not like the grogginess and the effects.
When it comes to access and information, it is one of the many hurdles our heroes face. The other? Cost.
It's tragic.
Josh Linney is with Veterans for Cannabis, one of several organizations working, among other things, to cover some of the upfront fees.
The people that need this medication the most are the ones who can afford it the least.
It's why some state lawmakers think veterans should be able to get their medical marijuana card for free.
Right now, that card is $75 a year on top of an average $250 consultation visit, not to mention the price of the product itself. Could be anywhere between $30 to $200. None of it covered by insurance, and certainly not the VA.
There's people making money on an unnecessary expense that's causing patients to be able not to access medication because of the financial obstacles.
So that bill has been approved by the Florida House. We'll keep track on it to see if it is approved by the governor. But I want to find out what you guys think about today's topic. Do you guys think that Missouri is doing good things for local farmers by making sure everything stays local? What do you guys think about some of the recalls? And how do you guys feel about lawmakers allowing veterans access to medical herb that will greatly benefit them in the long run? Drop in the comments and let me know. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but something which may not benefit everyone is having liquor stores be the only places allowed to sell the good herb. And I know it sounds crazy, but if you guys don't believe me, check it out because that video is coming up right now.